Good morning, athletes, and welcome back to day 2 of Disco Fitness live at the Barn Theatre here in Cirencester. I am David from CrossFit Cirencester, aka Coach Disco.
And I'm Anna, and again, thank you for coming back for another day. So yesterday we tackled the beginning of weightlifting where we focused on the snatch. And today is Tuesday, so it is a chipper day. And today we are going to use a bit more loading. We haven't really brought in loading over the past few weeks, maybe just one exercise or two, but we're going to do the whole chipper with weight.
Exciting. So the workout looks a bit like this today. So we're going to go through a little bit of a warm-up, then do some conditions, have to make sure you're prepared for that chipper, and then we'll hit that chipper.
Right, so we're going to begin the warm-up, so just standard warm-up. You don't need any kit for the warm-up, guys.
Jumping jacks to begin.
20.
So again, if the jumping jack's too much, you can step jack instead. Must be close.
19, 20.
We'll go the same thing from front to back.
10.
And again, you can step in your step.
Lunge and rotate.
Yeah, so we're going to take a lunge step forwards, rotate with that front leg, tap and rotate, tap, rotate. We're doing 5 per side. Then we'll switch legs.
Okay, back up.
Yep, better stuff for the shoulders now. So we'll go with our Shakira, work to that full range of motion in the shoulder. So you shouldn't really have any aches from yesterday. It's obviously quite a lot of stuff that make you out of breath, but it shouldn't make you ache really, if you've not been to those range of motions before. Small circles backwards. Might get more ache today. larger and larger and larger. Do 10 large circles. And we'll go forwards for 10. And we go smaller, 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 wax off. Those Miss Miyagi fans out there. Give yourself a hug. We'll go up and back, down and back. Okay, then we'll turn to our speed skater. So open the base up to the feet. So nice strong base, soft knees. And imagine you're ice skating left and right. Put in 20 reps. Open the chest up, stretch those abs. Push off those legs. Cossack squats. Again, work to depth that feels safe for you.
Walkouts.
So walking out on the hands. Yep, nice wide base. Walk out on the hands. If you want to add a push-up, we can add a push-up.
So we're just trying to widen our base every rep, if we can.
That's 5 reps.
Awesome.
Got a little bit extra stuff to do today because we've got some
Yes.
dynamic movements in a second.
Because we're jumping, we're just going to make sure you're prepped in your joints. So we're going to do a bit of work on our ankles, which we haven't done before. So we're going to start with your turnout. Like you're a ballerina, you're going to turn out and walk. So I'll follow you.
The other side. So next one is exactly the same thing, but internal rotation, so toes turning in.
So all this is doing is really mobilizing all of our joints, so our hips, knees and ankles. So we're safe when we jump.
Up on the heels.
Some of you might find that your knees want to bend during these movements, so you're going to have to fight quite hard to keep them soft, not bent.
Up on the toes.
And this can require a little bit of strength as well. So don't worry too much if you find it difficult to stay quite high on your toes.
Shoot some chickens.
So this is working the back of the leg. So we're working through the hamstring muscle, making sure it's nice and warm because that will absorb our landings.
And if you want, you can turn a toe up like Anna's doing here, and that'll hit the calves as well. Shoo, chickens, shoo. So we're going to prep the hips a little bit now. Do something called an A skip. And it's opposites. And finally heels to your butt. These are called butt kickers.
So you should feel nice and prepped and ready to go. So we have a little bit of conditioning before we actually hit the workout today. So we're going to work with a step, but if you have a bottom of your stairs, if you can stack up something safely, if you have a stool, grab it now.
Yeah, sometimes chairs aren't ideal for this kind of thing because they're a bit too wobbly.
So we are
Really
going to
stable.
do some weighted step ups. So we are going to use dumbbells. But if you don't have dumbbells, you can use cans, water bottles, anything that you can hold in both hands. So we are simply going to do 10 step-ups each leg with weight. So I'm going to do 10 on one leg and then switch and do 10 on the other. As you can see, I'm making sure I'm nice and tall on the box when I stand on it. Once we've done 20, you go to the floor to do 10 V-ups. You should be used to these now, guys. If you can't do the harder scale, you can do your single leg or your tuck position. Then we have our Turkish Getup. So you learnt this a couple of weeks ago. So we have 4, 2 on each arm. We start with weight up. Do you want to talk me through this one?
Yeah, can I? Yeah. So Anna's going to go opposite knee to the ground. Reach outside with that opposite hand. Shoot through. Down on your butt. Kick down hard. Pull that knee back through. And stand up. It's as simple as that. Don't make it complicated. It's a pretty straightforward exercise.
So that's 4. So 20 step-ups, 10 V-ups, 4 Turkish Getups, and we have 3 rounds. So in your own time, guys, let's get going.
So we'll work at the same time as you guys as a rough guide to how long it's going to take.
Ready? Let's go.
Let's make a start. So Anna's leading with just her left leg. She's going to do 10 on the left-hand side. Then she'll switch to do 10 on the right. So that means I'm going to get do the V-ups, aren't I? Special V-ups for David.
Switching leg.
Again, this is just a warm-up, so it's not a race. It doesn't matter who finishes first in the warm-up. Make sure you're thoroughly warm, ready for that chipper.
V-ups. Turkish Getups. 4 in total.
So the get-ups can be quite laboured, so if you want to do it without weight, obviously do it without weight, just keep the hand overhead. If the weight's too much and you insist on doing it with weight, then we can utilise that front rack position, so resting on your shoulders. But again, technique is a priority here, don't worry about the load.
Okay, round 2.
So I'm going to do my step slightly different. I'm going to do mine alternating leg. So I'll just count up to 20.
So when you're in your warm-up phase, this is just kind of an extension of the warm-up, getting ready for the workout. Probably want to be working about 60–70%. So that's a 6 and a 7 out of 10 on how you feel. So how tired you feel, how exhausted you feel. How do you feel, David?
Easy.
So David can go a little bit faster. What number are you on?
17.
Okay, so back to the
18. 19. 20.
Okay, Turkish Getups.
So I'm going to grab the kettlebell, same thing, the kettlebell.
Yep, any object works. Just keep it light for this movement though, as we're still just warming up. Two to go?
Yep.
And then we just have one more round. So it's 3 rounds of this warm up in total. If you need a bit more time, don't worry. There will be a little bit of time before we go into the workout.
Go.
So I'll alternate this time, like David.
So it's a pretty thorough warm-up. As I said to you yesterday, before that kind of 21-15-9, we would normally do something like this to get a little bit heart rate a little bit higher, so you're not jumping into those burpees and suddenly realize I'm out of breath. It's quite a nice little strategy. Rev that heart rate up a bit, get the breathing rates up. But obviously not burn yourself out. So I typically choose those compound movements that are multiple muscle groups.
Okay. So I'm going to do the Turkish Getup without weight, because you can. Do left. And breathe. So we'll give you a minute or so to finish up. Grab some water if you need it. I definitely do.
Yep. It's quite warm here today.
It is hot in here today.
On my 2019 CrossFit Games sweatband today. Thanks to Jenny Brunswick, all the way back from Madison County last year. Those are CrossFit Games fans. This year, if it goes ahead, it'll be back at the home of the CrossFit Games, the ranch in Aronas,
right,
California.
Guys. So it's time to look at that chipper. So the workout, the main workout of today. So we're going to have a buy-in. So before you can actually move to the workout, you have to complete 50 box jumps. Now, don't worry if you don't want to jump. You can just go and do the step-ups like we did a minute ago. Do you want to demo the box jumps?
Yeah, certainly.
If you're jumping, 2-foot takeoff, 2-foot landing. David lands with a nice soft knee, chest is nice and high, and we're stepping down. So it's 50 of those or 50 of your step-ups. Once you've completed all of that work, you can start the workout. So everything's nice and simple because we're just completing 40 of every movement, starting with the deadlift. So grab those weights again, and you're going to do 40 deadlifts. So if you can see, David is keeping a nice back posture. So what we mean by that, he's maintaining his posture throughout the movement. A nice flat back position, bending at the hips and the knees to take the weight safely to the floor and back up again.
So if any of you find it really hard to get to the ground, just work to a depth that feels safe, provided you keep your back nice and flat.
Absolutely.
If you start compromising your back to touch the floor, don't do it.
So just keep your back in a good position.
Good mechanics.
And that will be kind of how you determine how far you should go. So that will be the reason, won't it, whether you're going to the floor or not.
Anna's favourite next.
Once you've completed 40 deadlifts, you'll move on to 40 single arm overhead squats. So we're looking a bit of our technique from yesterday, snatches. Keep the arm nice and locked overhead. Watch my knee position as I move. They are staying out. Now, because there's 40, you're going to want to alternate between both arms. So you might want to do 10-10, 20-20. We'll leave that up to you. If it gets a bit too much, bring the loading down to your shoulder and squat from here. Then, once you move on from that, we have a push press. So we dip, remember the warm-up we did yesterday, and we press. So it's a leg, dip, and drive. Dip, and drive. So it's a very, very shallow dip with the knees. Brilliant. So we have 40 of those. Then we go into 40 split squats. So using your weight in a split position. So David's going to split his legs and he's going to move down and up. So we're not moving forward and back like a lunge. We're going straight down, straight up. You see the side profile? Again, you're going to want to alternate sides. You won't want to do 40 just on one leg. So again, do a 10 and a 10 or a 20 or a 20. Then finish up with our hollow rocks.
Your turn this time, I think. So the hollow rock, when we talked about this before, is when we get that contact lens shape, that T sort of shape. Make sure we keep the rock smooth. There should be no flat points in your rock. It should look like a rocking chair.
If that's too much,
pretty straightforward exercise.
to finish. 40.
40 is a lot though. That's going to be quite a challenge. That's going to be quite a little tough on the end of the finisher.
Oh, don't worry. So we have 8 minutes to try and complete as much of that chipper as we possibly can. Do not worry if you don't complete it. Just note down where you get to, and if you have some more time, you can still carry on and try and finish the workout.
So we're going to give you an 8-minute time cap.
Yes. So remember, we have to start with those 50 box jumps or box steps.
Athletes.
So, get ready, guys.
Clock's on the count up. I think we'll do a you go again. Blocks of 10s maybe?
Yeah, I think so.
10 seconds, athletes.
Starting. Okay. 3, 2, 1. Let's start, guys. So work through those 50 box jumps or step ups. So make sure you're nice and safe when you're doing this.
Yeah, so your box needs to be fairly stable. This one is probably not ideal for this kind of activity. Maybe we'll put it a bit lower in a minute. What do you think?
Yes, I think so.
Make sure it's safe. Don't want to be forever on the internet as the person who fell off the stage on a CrossFit demonstration.
Okay, that's another 10.
That's 20 to the bank for us.
30 to go. So Dave is using a rebound technique, which is a little bit more advanced.
But you can see it's obviously much, much faster. It's quite odd for us. We're so conditioned to doing boxes at a particular height. It feels quite strange to do something quite low.
10 to go. Then we get to start on those deadlifts. To move the box.
Yep.
40 deadlifts.
So again, I think we'll break it down into blocks of 10s. You guys can probably go with light dumbbells, maybe 20 partitions every 20 reps maybe.
So remember what we said, we don't want to compromise the position of the back. You must stay in a nice neutral position, nice and flat.
Make sure
not
the legs are
arched
lifting.
and not rounded.
So legs do all the lifting on these. It's very tempting to use your back because it feels faster, but you'll definitely regret it the next day.
It's 30. 10 to go. Then our overhead squats.
So lock that arm out. 10 and a 10. Same again.
Yep.
So make sure those knees draw out wide and not letting those ankles collapse in.
Again, if it's too much, just drop the dumbbell to your shoulder. Halfway?
Halfway. So 4 minutes on the clock, halfway on the clock as well. Always try and get those heels on the floor.
Done. Last 10. Into push press.
My favourites.
If you could just pass it to me.
So push press can be one of the fastest ones we'll do today. It's quite a short range of motion. I'll blast out 20 in a row. You can get 20.
Yep.
Shallow dip and push. Make sure you finish those reps up. Imagine there's always somebody watching you as a judge.
It's 20. Then moving into split squats. Once David's done these. It's really hot in here. Stay hydrated, guys. How are we doing on time? Okay, we're doing well. Where are
20.
you? Okay. Split squats.
And again, always make sure you finish that range of motion. And if you decide to do any CrossFit style competitions, there are standards. And if you don't meet the standards, they don't give you the reps. So 10 and a 10.
Yep. Okay guys, we're nearly there. Hollow rocks to finish.
Oop.
2 minutes to go. Oh, minute and a half. I'm gonna do it.
So if you're doing it on your own, you're doing very well to keep up with us. We're doing half the work. Doing 10s or 20?
10, 11, sorry.
Okay.
12,
20.
13, 14, 15,
1 minute to go, team.
19, 20. Oh, that was quite difficult. 20 left. Can we beat the clock? How are we doing? Oh, doing really well, David. 45 seconds left. Just keep moving, guys. Coming up to the last 30 seconds.
And time.
Well done. 30 seconds left. Just keep chipping away. Do not worry if you haven't finished. We're just going to see how far you can get.
That's the beauty of a chipper. 20 seconds, athletes. We're so close.
Come on, guys. You got this.
Yeah, just work all the way to the beat now. No stopping now. Just keep going. Take a drink at the end. You'll be fine. 10 seconds left to work.
Come on, guys.
Session is complete. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and time.
Well
Good
done.
work. Really well done.
You can see the difference that adding some loading can do to a workout. When we started this program, we weren't really using much loading. So you can see by having a whole workout with loading can definitely change the stimulus of the session and the intensity.
But that's one of the main things that we look at all the time, is making sure the mechanics are good. Once you mechanically do an exercise correctly and safely and do it consistently well, we can increase the intensity by adding more speed, more weight, more reps, And again, that's how we make things nice and safe with our stuff at CrossFit Cirencester. Mechanics, consistency, intensity.
That is smart programming. So that is why it's always worthwhile investing in a really good coach or a gym that knows how to do that for you.
Yeah, anyone can program a really hard workout, but again, it's the science in the actual program that makes a difference.
Right, let's
Cool down.
definitely need that after today, guys.
So a lot of legs. Let's start with that half kneeling. It's like our hurdle stretch. We lower ourselves back to the floor.
Or lay all the way down.
Nice little stretch in the quads. How was that? Hollow rocks the hardest for you?
I think the jumps get your heart rate up quite high.
Let's switch legs, team. But I hope you can see that it's pretty important that we can keep the standards high, that you finish those reps off as you go through the movements. It's very easy to cut corners and not perform the quality. We talk a lot about improving by 1% better each day. The same thing happens if you're not doing the reps correctly. You're also going to get worse by a day and you're learning bad habits.
Yeah.
Okay, we're going to go soles of the feet together. There's the adductors again. Once you finish, just going to cross the legs over to that half lotus. And then we'll get a little bit closer to the floor, like Anna's doing now, for that back stretch. Switch legs the other way around, same thing. You'll definitely have a side that feels easier. And we'll finally spin onto our front for our half cobras. Stretch those abs out. So even on those hollow rocks, it's important that we try and get the refinement of the skill. It's very easy to do sort of a half rep on those, isn't it? And not actually ever hit a full hollow.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we've talked a lot about building up the core strength and stabilizing muscles because they support you throughout the whole of your strength training and weightlifting.
Yeah, and I think that hollow hold is as important, or as challenging as doing the snatch we talked yesterday.
Absolutely.
So very slowly come back to your knees. You get a high five. You guys get virtual high fives.
Well
Good
done,
work,
guys.
team.
Yeah, that was a really another tough session this week. We've definitely turned the intensity up. But tomorrow is Wednesday, which means it is capacity day.
Capacity day, back to the Chris Hinshaw workouts.
Yeah, absolutely.
So again, thank you for supporting us and keep supporting the Barn Theatre. Again, any stuff you want to ask any questions, give us a shout on our Instagram, CrossFit Science on Instagram, on our Facebook page, or admin@crossfitscience.com. If you have any questions, if you want to join us for a couple of sessions, you'd be very welcome. We should be live on Zoom until probably July, I think. I hope we can get back outside in July.
Absolutely.
That's the plan, if everything goes to plan. Follow up with the government.
Right, so we will see you again tomorrow, guys.
Well done, team.
Take care.